starving that one night they would eat one of their child and the next night they would eat the other child. But they did the first part of the deal, and when the woman went to go eat the other woman's baby the next night, they were gone. So it's just how I feel about these past couple chapters. These are just really disturbing. This person, Jezebel, is just evil. God hates her so much, and I don't know why dogs don't like to eat the palms and the feet. They ate every other part of her, right? Except her palms and her feet. That's just gross, right? Oh, and her skull. Her skull. They found her skull, her feet, and the palms of her hands. Why didn't they eat those? Is it too tough? That's weird, right? Maybe not the feet. There's so many bones. But like they eat the toes. But why aren't they eating the palms of the hand? These are just terrible chapters. And I ask God to give me the strength and the understanding of this. These are just horrible. And I'm looking a little bit forward, and it's just horrible. So, let's just get it over with. But I don't mean that. I really would like some understanding here, because I'm confused and I haven't read online. And I don't know. Like, so they're repeating like this Jezebel story from like chapter. So it started like in chapter 1 Kings, right? And now it's like being picked up in like chapter 2 Kings. And then they mentioned all these people before, and it's like you're supposed to remember the entire story, but I feel like there's just so many names that keep popping up, and I don't have the story straight. Some of these stories I love so much, but when they're talking about all this war and all this stuff, it's just... And then I'm thinking, right? And then I read a little bit back. Okay, so remember what she did to that poor vineyard guy in Naboth? That guy, she totally ruined his life just to give her husband the vineyard. Like, he doesn't even need it, right? And so, wow, I'm trying to read back, like, well, why? Maybe she should have been killed in that vineyard, right? She should have been the dung in the vineyard. I don't know. I guess it was in the street, though. She's turning the shit in the street instead of shit in the vineyard. But that would have wrecked that year of wine, right? Who knows? It's just all this war. It's like, can something even good happen? I mean, I guess Elisha the Tishbite, that's why they're throwing this person in there, but this is just over and over. This Ahab and Jehu, and their names are all similar a little bit. It's really, we'll see how this goes. Maybe it'll be better. Chapter 10. And Ahab had 70 sons in Samaria. And Jehu wrote letters and sent to Samaria and to the rulers of Israel, to the elders, and to them that brought up Ahab's children, saying, Now as soon as this letter cometh to you, seeing your master's sons are with you, and there are with you chariots and horses, a fenced city also, and armor, look even out the best and meetest of your master's sons, and set him on his father's throne, and fight for your master's house. I guess Jehu's telling him to get off the throne. I don't know. But they were exceedingly afraid, and said, Behold, 2 kings stood not before him. How then shall we stand? And he that was over the house, and he that was over the city, the elders also, and the bringers up of the children, sent to Jehu, saying, We are thy servants, and will do all that thou shalt bid us. So this is a story of deceit. Jehu is writing letters to Ahab's servants, and Ahab is such a jerk that they're like, yeah, it's all it took is a letter. Yep, we're on your side. That's what I'm getting from this so far. Then he wrote, and he that was over the house, and he that was over the city, the elders also, and the bringers up of the children sent to Jehu, saying, we are thy servants, and will do all that thou shalt bid us. We will not make any king. Do thou that which is good in thine eyes. Then he wrote a letter the second time to them, saying, if ye be mine, and if ye will hearken unto my voice, take ye the heads of the men your master's sons, and come to me to Jezreel by tomorrow this time. So he's telling him to kill him. All the sons of the king. Now the king's sons, being 70 persons there, were with the great men of the city, which brought them up. And it came to pass, when the letter came to them, that they took the king's sons and slew 70 persons, and put their heads in baskets, and sent them to Jezreel. So, to me, that's the number of all the people that went to Egypt, right? And got out of Egypt, right? All of the sons, all of the tribes, the 12 tribes initially, including Jacob, right? And Joseph. And there were 70. I don't know why people kind of say it's 72, because, and this is important, this number 70 and 72. So Jehu got these people for 2 letters to kill 70 people, and put their heads in the baskets, and sent them to Jezreel. And there came a messenger and told him, saying, they have brought the heads of the king's sons. And he said, lay ye them in 2 heaps at the entering in of the gate until the morning. And it came to pass in the morning that he went out and stood, and said to all the people, ye be righteous. Behold, I conspired against my master, and slew him. But who slew all these? Know now that there shall fall unto the earth nothing of the word of the Lord, which the Lord spake concerning the house of Ahab, for the Lord hath done that which he spake by his servant Elijah. So Jehu slew all that remained of the house of Ahab in Jezreel, and all his great men, and all his kinfolks, and his priests, until he left him none remaining. And he arose and departed, and came to Samaria, and he was at the shearing house in the way. Jehu met with the brethren of Ahaziah king of Judah, and said, who are ye? And they answered, we are the brethren of Ahaziah, and we go down to salute the children of the king and the children of the queen. And he said, take them alive. And they took them alive and slew them at the pit of the shearing house, even 42 men. Neither left he any of them. And when he was departed thence, he lighted on Jehonadab, the son of Rechab, coming to meet him. And he saluted him, and he said to him, is thine heart right, as mine heart is with thy heart? And Jehonadab answered, it is. If it be, give me thine hand. And he gave him his hand, and he took them up to him into the chariot. And he said, come with me and see my zeal for the Lord. Oh, it's this Jehu riding that. Well, I remember that part. Jehu rides like the Fast and the Furious. So now we know why. He says he's riding crazy for the Lord. He says, and he said, "Come with me and see my zeal for the Lord." So they made him ride in his chariot. So now we know why he's driving crazy. Huh. That's right. And when he came to Samaria, he slew all that remained unto Ahab in Samaria till he had destroyed him, according to the saying of the Lord which he spake to Elijah. See, they really came on with this Elijah, Elisha thing. And it's just all this war and all these stories. Just give me understanding. At least I remember that chariot part. And they're capping on him for driving fast. Okay. And Jehu gathered all the people together and said unto them, Ahab served Baal a little, but Jehu shall serve him much. Oh no. This guy, why did he just say he drives his chariot fast for the Lord? Now he's saying, I'm going to serve Baal twice as much as Ahab. This whole thing, it's really a soap opera. It's really, nothing's changed, really. Nothing at all. Now therefore call unto me all the prophets of Baal, all his servants and all his priests. Oh, maybe he's going to kill him. Oh, I hope so. Let's see. Let none be wanting, for I have a great sacrifice to do to Baal. Whosoever shall be wanting, he shall not live. But Jehu did it in subtlety, to the intent that he might destroy the worshippers of Baal. Oh, thank goodness. I'm like, this would just be unusual to just say he was driving his chariot for the Lord with such zeal, and then he just does something like this. Okay, now we know he wants to trap them. Goodness. And Jehu said, proclaim a solemn assembly for Baal, and they proclaimed it. And Jehu sent through all Israel, and all the worshippers of Baal came, so that there was not a man left that came not. And they came into the house of Baal, and the house of Baal was full from one end to the other. Well, I hope they all get it. And he said unto him that was over the vestry, bring forth vestments for all the worshippers of Baal. And he brought them forth vestments. And Jehu went, and Jehonadab the son of Rechab, into the house of Baal, and said unto the worshippers of Baal, search and look, that there be here with you none of the servants of the Lord, but the worshippers of Baal only. And when they went in to offer sacrifices and burnt offerings, Jehu appointed 80 men without, and said, if any of the men whom I have brought into your hands escape, he that letteth them go, his life shall be for the life of him. And it came to pass, as soon as he had made an end of offering the burnt offerings, that Jehu said to the guard and to the captains, go in and slay them, let none come forth. And they smote them with the edge of the sword. And the guard and the captain cast them out and went to the city of the house of Baal. And they brought forth the images out of the house of Baal and burned them. And they brake down the images of Baal and brake down the house of Baal and made it a draught house until this day. Let's find out what that means. Draught or draft, I'm not sure. Thus Jehu destroyed Baal out of Israel. Howbeit, from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin, Lord said unto Jehu, because thou hast done well in executing that which is right in mine eyes, and hast done unto the house of Ahab according to all that was in mine heart. Thy children of the fourth generation shall sit on the throne of Israel. So he's telling Jehu he's really happy with him. And he says, in 4 generations, you will have a king from your family. But Jehu took no heed to walk in the law of the Lord, God of Israel, with all his heart. Darn it. For he departed not from the sins of Jeroboam, which made Israel to sin. It's like this just makes you think of David so far. He's the only one that walked in all the ways. And look what this guy just did. He just killed all of Ahab's sons, 70 people. He just killed 42 more men. He then gathered all of the people that worship Baal, killed every single one of them, and took no heed to walk in the law of the Lord God of Israel with all his heart. All of his heart. So we always forget. For he departed not from the sins of Jeroboam, which made Israel to sin. In those days the Lord began to cut Israel short, and Hazael smote them in all the coasts of Israel, from Jordan eastward, all the land of Gilead, the Gadites, and the Reubenites, and the Manassites, from Aroer, which is by the river Arnon, even Gilead and Bashan. Now the rest of the acts of Jehu, and all that he did, and all his might, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? And Jehu slept with his fathers, and they buried him in Samaria. And Jehoahaz his son reigned in his stead. And at the time that Jehu reigned over Israel in Samaria was 28 years. Look, these 3 chapters, 9, where's this one about this, the child, eating the child? Yeah, that starts at chapter 6, cannibalism. Then we moved into Jezebel and her disgusting death, right? The way she died. It's kind of interesting. I don't know, they're not talking too much about her. She must have been so gross that they don't really talk. Yeah, they did talk about that act with Naboth in Naboth's vineyard, but like they're just really all into like this way she dies. It's like it's just weird. It's just like, well, I don't know. And then it just gets worse, right? Look what we just read. Everybody's dying, and this guy, he does the best he can. And the Lord's like, nope, you're still not walking with me. After you killed like all these Baal worshippers, God's like, no, you're still not walking with me good enough. This guy. And look, I'm looking forward, and they just keep talking about this. Maybe not. This is like, now it's like they're going back and back, and Lord, give me understanding reading this and putting it together. Because this is the place, like, you either need an excellent memory with, like, I don't know, the 3,000 names have already been mentioned. in just the first 240 pages. That's how it seems to me. And then the places that give you a clue as well. You get to the point where it's like, wow, there sure are a lot of things. Now, should I have made a chart from the beginning? Should I start making a chart? I don't know. Maybe I'll just keep reading and just try to understand the best I can. And if something is especially kind of interesting that I can handle, maybe go after that. Like, what is this word? Draft house. It must be. It made it a draft house until this day. It sounds like a bar. Kind of, doesn't it? A drought. D-R-A-U-G-H-T. So I'll find that and I'll put that in the description. But that's something I can try to understand. But there are a lot of people in these things. A lot of different people.